Shredders, we got the Santa Cruz, Heckler, Build Kit S, size extra large. Beautiful maritime gray, kind of reminds me of a cloudy day in Santa Cruz, breathing that fresh air, deciding if I should go surfing or ride my bike. Let me tell you the important stuff about this bike. It's 160 millimeter travel front, 150 millimeter travel rear. This one is a full 29er. You can get it mullet. I'm also gonna try to mullet the 29 and see how it goes. It's got a perfectly sized 720 watt battery, so I'm super stoked on that. The bike's clearly in the all mountain category, so we're gonna go on a whole bunch of mountains and test this, and I'm gonna tell you exactly how it went. Santa Cruz says they can precisely tune their rear suspension, and let me tell you, the rumors are true. This bike is absolutely dialed. All I had to do was set the sag in the rear end. The Santa Cruz website is money. Definitely check that out if you're setting your bike up. So I'm on an extra large Heckler here, and this bike honestly feels like shit compared to the size large I rode last time. They have more traditional geometry. Definitely go down a size on Santa Cruz if you're on the fence. So like all Santa Cruz bikes, this bike's not very good in the small bump sensitivity, and I've yet to ride one with a coil, but the bike more than makes up for it with its predictability and poppability. 35% sag really helps in the small bump sensitivity. Frame lesson, it says Heckler C. So C means it's the lower end carbon, and if it says CC, it just means it's lighter weight. You're on an e-bike, definitely don't need CC lightweight parts. When we look inside this frame, this is what I expect from a $10,000 bike. High-end fit and finish. Look at the wires, everything is just dialed on this bike. They say you can't mullet this 29er Heckler, but I'd be breaking the law, breaking the law, breaking the law. Let's go mullet this bike. Here's the Mullet Heckler. They said you couldn't do it. Here we go. I didn't bother doing the flip chip because as you can see here, it doesn't really change that much. It's not even half a degree. The tire sidewall could have a bigger bearing on ride height than this flip chip, so I didn't even bother. So I'd been riding the 29er all day. I swapped the 27.5 in, and the first thing I noticed is substantially slower with the Mullet wheel. So even with the compromised geometry, the bike did perform pretty good, and it jumped about this much better with the Mullet wheel. So if you're a big jumper, I'd definitely go Mullet. But for this kind of bike, I kind of prefer 29. It's me, baby! Salesman Shredder! Business seals, business seals, business seals. I'm sick of you wearing those tights under your shorts. You look ridiculous. What's wrong with my pants? I got an offer for you guys today. Let me show you. 6-way stretch, tight ankles, super stylish, water resistant, durable but not too thick. You can wear them in the summer, you can wear them in the winter. Super simple closure system, pockets on the side, zippers to keep your iPhone 27 Pro Max safe and secure when you're riding your bike. All this for $49.99. Check the link below and up here. Thanks for your time, guys. Let's get back to the Heckler. Let's go hit some downhill lines. So don't be fooled by this beautiful backdrop. It's 31 degrees. I am freezing cold here. I'm going to say it rides how you would expect a 150 millimeter travel bike to ride, not more and not less. Well, it's perfectly balanced on like almost everything. It's stable on these fast roads. It's not too long to push it through these tight bushes. It's pretty good in tight corners. It's not too long or too short. It's got amazing riding position, like sitting in it is just super comfortable. I have a bad back, some bulge disc, so I'm super sensitive to bikes, and this is one of the most comfortable bikes I have ever rode. Excellent climber. In Profile 1, the motor is pretty powerful. This is a late model 2022 model Heckler. I'm sure the 23 will be the same, probably the 24 too, because they just updated it. There's no rattle out of this motor, super quiet. Let's go for an all-day epic, because that's what these all-mountain bikes are really for. Rode for 2 hours, was super comfortable. This traditional geometry really rules on standard trail riding. That was my first jump on this bike. It felt pretty off. So what I'm doing here is I'm lowering the stem down to make the stack height to my desired level. If you ever find yourself on an extra large Santa Cruz, make sure you lower the stem down. It can make it feel a lot better. This is the reason I do not like extra large Santa Cruz bikes and I prefer the size large. The Heckler doesn't have the plowing nature of some other bikes out on the market. It really wants you to choose its line. I mean, look at the tires. It comes with EXO thin wall casing tires. The rear suspension feels like it's tuned for efficiency more than plowing. Jump on it, it's dialed. It's got a really nice seat, a perfect riding position, requires almost no setup. The Santa Cruz website's really good for setting the shock up. I would just recommend adding a little bit extra sag, like 35%. The bike pops great, it jumps great. Simply put, it's comfortable AF. That amazing after-sale support comes at a hefty price tag. But let me tell you, expensive can be more cheap. If you bought 2 Kias instead of 1 Toyota, I think you're gonna save money on the Toyota and a lot of headache. My opinion, but I feel like it's not a long-legged 150mm travel. What do I mean by long-legged? I've ridden super capable 150mm travel bikes, but they weren't nearly as comfortable as the Heckler. The overall package of the Heckler is very impressive. If I didn't live an hour from a bunch of downhill lines, this would be my bike. But personally, I'm more of a Santa Cruz Mullet guy, so click that video here.